Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I've been watching some of the videos that Jason over at Fireball Tools has been putting out about the welding fixture tables and whether or not you need one in business to do work with welding and fabrication. So I have some welding fixture tables here in my shop, and I also sell these welding fixture table kits. And now, first off, I am not a professional welder. I don't claim to be. I've been doing this welding fabrication for about 2 years now, off and on, maybe a little longer than that. I'm not building anything real super precise. I'm building skid loader attachments. And I had an opportunity to build some shelves or racks for some motorcycles for a friend of mine for his shop. And I needed a larger table system to do that, to make it a little bit easier. So I ended up with my table. It is actually two tables bolted together. They are 50 by 50 inches, and they are bolted together to make a 50 by 100 6-inch tall welding fixture table. The holes are 5/8 diameter holes on a 2-inch grid pattern. Over here is the table I was using. It is just a steel table, a 5/8 thick top. It is not flat at all. That's what I was using in the past to build these attachments. I would weld brackets to the table or stops to set up a fixture to build these attachments. And every step I would have to cut the brackets off and re-weld them at another location. So ended up building these fixture tables, and there's no looking back. These live in the middle of my shop all the time now. It is a handy investment for not just, welding and fabrication. If you're doing woodworking projects where you need to set up, fixture to build something, it's handy. So one thing that does make it nice is being able to use the edge of the table here. I have these plates. They're the same grid pattern or same hole pattern. I can bolt those on, two on a side, one on an end, and right away I have a 90-degree corner because I know the table's square. I know that corner is going to be square. So now what I'll do for this part of the attachment, I know this distance from this lower tube to the end is 3 inches. So I just have some cheap 1, 2, 3 blocks that I purchased on Amazon. I'll put that in. I know that's 3 inches. I'll come over to this edge. Same thing, another spacer block. Now I know my tube's all cut the right length, so I know where this stop's going to be. So I have some angle brackets that I had made, put some holes in to line up with some of the holes and some slots for the table. So that bracket will get bolted on. Now I know the end distance. I can clamp this piece onto the end. I have laid out here in the center, I know I have 2 supports going up. So I did mark out on the first one where they need to live, and put some brackets in there to hold those in place, some spacers to keep everything up. This material is just spacers laying there to keep the tubing and everything up off so it fits the right for the end position. So get those in. Now I know with those cut to length, this top piece has to fit in place, and everything is ready to tack it up now. So a lot of these clamps, these are the homemade clamps that I made from just Harbor Freight clamps that I welded some bolts on, but they do the job. So now that I know everything is in position where it needs to go, I will go through and I will tack this together. And then once it's tacked together, I will take each one out and move on to the next the next part of the process. So all in all, I would say I have about 20 minutes in setting up this fixture, which I feel is pretty quick. Again, it's not something I do all the time, and this run of attachments, I'm building 10 of them. So for me to build 10 of them with my old table system, I would have a half hour to 45 minutes welding pieces of angle iron on and stops and everything, measuring everything out. And where this, I'm saving that much time, and then to reset this up again, after you do it a couple times, you kind of remember how things go and which operation. So it's just handy having the grid pattern and everything laid out. Everything's going to be square, and that for me is the biggest time saver and the biggest advantage of having these fixture tables. is, again, I'm not doing super complex parts. I'm not building aerospace parts or anything like that. I'm building skid loader attachments and just simple frames, simple things like that, simple shapes, nothing complicated. So for me, it works out perfect. I have all my material cut here in the shop, ready to go. It's all laid out, staged, ready to go to assembly. I do sell these table kits. I have them available in a 50 by 50, 6 inches tall. Now these are all laser cut out of 1/4 inch A36 mild steel. I have them available 50 by 50 by 6 inches. I also have a 40 by 80 6-inch tall table kit, as well as a smaller one in a 30 by 60 inch table kit. So I do have those available for sale on my website. The website address is rvmspa.com. The name of the website is River Valley Mower Salvage, and we are located in South Central Pennsylvania. If you have any questions about any of the tables or anything like that, please feel free to comment down below and I'll get back to you.